Hello, boys and girls. This is Old Man Yells at Cloud for Blue Powder Monkeys Patreon. I'm going to work on the Norwescon program again. Give me just a second. YouTube was being a little persnickety about playing stuff. Yeah, it's weird. Guess it's blocking me from playing content, or something I'm using is blocking me from playing content. So we're going to go, nope. We're going to go old school. Go back to VLC with the old soundtrack playlist that I've talked about in the past. All right. So we'll see if I stick. Oh, hold on. It tastes weird. Anyway, we'll see if I stick to it. But I should have realized this like 10 videos ago, that each time I work on a specific section, I should sort of like pinch off the video and switch up. In other words, for right now, I'm going to work on these memorials, but I may go work on the guest of honor stuff as well later. But if I do that, I'm going to end this video and just restart a different video. And I'm going to do that so that the videos are shorter and they're a little more precise in titling. This one's just called Memorials. So anybody that's interested in the memorials for some reason specifically can come check that out. And anybody that wants to just see everything, then it's, just a matter of having to click over to a different video, which hopefully won't be that big of a burden. Give me just, no, I don't want to do that. I realized I have some Arnold Palmer in the fridge that I might want to drink, but I'll be okay for a little while. All right. So this is a fairly, what looks like easy, quote unquote, typography job. But there is definitely some decision making and some kind of nuance and stuff that'll take place here. So this seems super long to me. But I don't think it's supposed to be broken up because these other ones do have paragraph breaks in them. Oh, the other thing I need to do. Let's see here. When I bring stuff in, it wrecks the formatting. I would have paid real money if I don't know if I would have stayed on Adobe for sure, because they kept raising prices for AI features that I don't use and didn't want to use, and there was a lot of other stuff that was still stuck in the mid 2000s as far as like usability and all that. One of those things is bringing in text from Word documents and formatting stuff. And InDesign supposedly had a thing, where you could like match text styles with little tick boxes or whatever. It never worked, and it could never get it to work. You had to be so specific with your fucking formatting in your Word document that it just wasn't worth it. It didn't recognize just like italics, right? If something's italics, it should be able to go into the font list here. Because, okay, so professional fonts, real fonts, professional fonts have different weights, right? So there's Sophia Pro. That's medium. I open this up. These are all the different weights that this font has, okay? One, I can see it changing things down here, which is cool. That means that whatever I have highlighted is changing. But what that means is in Word and in Microsoft programs in general, you just do like Control I and you turn a thing into italic. And it's not turning it into a designed italic, I don't think. It's turning it into just bending the letters over to be italic or whatever. There's nothing in InDesign, as far as I know, and nothing in Infinity, as far as I know, that will understand when I bring this in and it's all Arial, let's say. Calibri probably. No, it's probably that Atomos one. Let's see what it is. Not that it matters. Not that it matters, but just for the sake of all you like exacty people out there, this is Calibri originally. So there's one or two italic phrases in there, which means that someone just highlighted it and did a control I, and that's fine. When I bring this into here, it should know all the normal, all the regulared Calibri just turn into this Sophia medium. But if it's italics, turn it into italics. Turn it into medium italic. Whatever. There's several italics, so maybe that's the confusing part of it. I don't know. But it feels like you could just program it to do even regular, have it do whatever the rest of the, I don't know. Seems, see, I'm already figuring out that it's maybe more complicated than it seems, but it does seem like it should be easy. And it also seems like I should be able to just check mark stuff, which again, InDesign tried to do, but I could never get it to bring stuff in super accurately. So it basically just means that I have to go back and just fucking hand do like all of this shit for the most part, which is what it is, I guess. Anyway, so let's start out by figuring out how we want these things to look in general, right? So let's do that. So that's pretty simple. Looks fine. All right. There may be a way to, there may be an easier way to do stuff, which obviously if anybody's figured that out, feel free to leave a comment in the comments section or whatever. Okay. Excellent. I don't do parentheticals in bolds if I can help it because it makes them super blocky. Same with these little quote marks here. Oh, that's funny. Guess that was text. Guess that's text too. I don't know. Still attached. That's awesome. My partner and I met over Peter David book, so it was kind of sad when he passed away. It's sad when anyone passes away, but he had sort of a, it wasn't personal, like we never met the guy or anything like that. And just both, it was just an odd author to like. And when we bumped into each other when we met, it was like, blah blah blah, Peter David. And it's like, oh, Peter David, have you read this? And it's like, oh yeah, oh weird. Do you read Peter David? Okay. It kind of went like that. Oops, that is not what I wanted. All right, so that all worked. So technically, the upper one, there'll be some mix of italic dashes, which I don't think will matter. But anyway, and a couple of them will have italic commas, which also won't matter too much. Okay, bonk, 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 bonk. I've seen Norwood before, but not Morewood. That's interesting. Hopefully that's not a typo of some kind. Oh no, because then it would have been a typo down in the description too. So Okay, so now I go through and skim. Double tree feature. Ah, wrote a Star Trek novel in their honeymoon. That's awesome. Is there any... Oh, there we go. Okay. Especially Bob. Okay. Oh, that's too bad. Didn't get to see another Super Bowl. All right. I feel like I know this guy. I must have known this guy. Do a quick search here. Second. I guess not. Huh. All right. Well, enough of that. Hey, hold on just a sec. All right. A little annoyed it's like one or the other here. Did it already? Okay. Control Shift D. Okay.
Sure, I have two of each in there now. Just going to chalk that up to the mystery. Literally, why I grouped those together was to lock them, and then I didn't lock them. Yeah, sounds like we've got some yard work going on outside. We've got a few of the famous neighborhood people that need to keep their lawn immaculate for no reason at all in the middle of winter. We got one guy that I think he might be like actual OCD. I'm not sure, but he gets out in the summertime with a leaf blower on his roof. And I walked by his house, and it's not much on there. There's like one tree, there's some needles and stuff, but he's out there like every other day walking around on his roof using a big old gas powered leaf blower. But yeah, we got an older couple, three or four, maybe three houses down that get the whole landscaping thing done. And afternoon, I mean, to be fair, it's 2:15 here. And I would much rather deal with that kind of stuff at 2:15 than sometimes they show up at 7 in the morning or whatever. Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. I'm gonna try something for fun because I'm about done with this spread. Like, this isn't going to be super complicated. Oops. Clever. And that shows you how fonts are designed. The middle part of the M is just very slightly smaller than the outsides. Nope. Nope. I guess as you could tell, when I had them grouped, it was dicking around and trying to shrink them for some reason. Which normally you can do that with the with this little wandy doodad here, but anyway, so I had to ungroup them for some fucking reason. And then do all my size adjustments. And now I'll regroup them. Yeah, see, sometimes the cursor, when it does weird stuff like that, and I just have to move it to a different spot. I don't think I have an appropriate illustration. Or even an inappropriate one. I think we're fine. All right, it's a little weird. I might change it up. Might grow on me. Let's see. So in order to keep my back healthy, we're going to call it good, and to do my little doodad of this is just working on the memorial, the end. If I come back out here tonight sometime, what I'm doing with those. Might do dealer and club table. Feels like a little thing to kind of get out of the way. I still need to, I might need to retypeset this thing. I probably won't do that online though. This is just doing the eyedropper thing like I was doing on the other stuff. All right, so then we're getting into the good stuff. We got to finish up Geneva's thing, do all the rest of these. I've got all the stuff that I need for that. I don't have that yet, and I don't have that yet, so I can't do that. Anyway, all right. Thanks again, as always, for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to help support the channel. I say moving the keyboard. And I may see you later today or tomorrow. We'll see how the back feels. All right.